Princess. I will be your moderator today. And we have an amazing panel set up for y'all from the voices of Jujutsu Kaisen. Give it up. All right, AWA 2024. Also, if you have friends at home, this panel is being streamed live on my Twitch. There is the app for that if you want to tell them about it. And we're just gonna get right on in it. So, first person, we have the voice of Yuji Itadori, Mr. Adam MacArthur. Awesome. Hi. I'm good, how are you? Hi guys. Next up, we have the voice of Navara. Please welcome Miss Anyako. Hey! And then finally, we have the voice of Satoru Gojo, the light-skinned king, Mr. Kaiji Tae. Good morning. Thank you all for being here at a morning panel for one. Thank you guys also for being here at a morning panel.
You said morning?
Kinda. Well, now it's afternoon, like just now. Just now.
I found my life, guys.
Yeah, we found our life for sure.
Okay, wait. They told us we have to do a mic check.
Oh,
To make sure that the mics are good quality. Yeah.
Hello.
Mike, can you hear us?
We are
Can you hear us?
speaking into the mic.
Are we good? Can you hear us?
Can
Can you hear? You guys aren't saying anything. Can you hear us?
I can hear you.
We need a little louder. Louder?
We have the mics up a little bit, or y'all can hold them if you want.
Hear me now.
Mic check.
Nope. We can hear the moderator. The rest of you need your mics up.
I'm like holding it to my face. That's why you can hear me.
It's all right. Oh, things are happening.
Father, can you hear?
Yes.
You can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you now.
Gojo's voice is stuck in the infinite void.
Oh.
Is it on?
Oh.
That's a yes.
Put it in your pocket, KJ.
This will be the whole panel. The mic test.
I don't think I can hear you.
You know, I checked them before I got here. They were fine.
It's all right. We've all taken.
So are you saying it's us?
No, it's not you.
That's right. We'll use our diaphragms.
We can all share one mic.
We could all show you capacity out.
You can pass it down. Okay. So for the panel today, I do my panels pretty interactive. So I have this really cool wheel where I spin, and then it's going to either land on show, specific question, random questions, and then ask the audience. So ask the audience. Y'all can line up behind this mic that's in the center aisle.
It won't work.
Hopefully it works better.
Hopefully it will work. But yes, so we're just gonna spin the wheel for the whole thing, and then we'll see where everything lands.
Oh, you're spinning it now. Right away. We're kicking it off.
It's like a gachapon panel. I like it. SSR.
Make KG do a backflip. Cool!
Oh, this one's actually cool. So, whoever wants to start off with the audience questions, the guests are gonna ask you a question first, and then you get to ask your question.
Oh, okay. We get to ask a guest.
Oh yes, Anya, go.
Do we all get to ask a question?
No, just one.
Just one of us?
Just one question.
Yeah.
Okay.
Y'all can decide among yourselves which one it is.
Yeah, I'll ask the first one.
All right.
Okay, my question for you is, well, first of all, this doesn't count as my question, but I need to know, what's your name?
Audrey.
Audrey? Okay, Audrey. Have you ever taken, and it can be like one trial class, have you ever done any martial arts?
Yes, I have, when I was little.
And what was it?
I did a little bit of karate.
Karate, perfect. All right, the rest of the panel, we're gonna fight. It's interactive.
Be careful, it was like
Service at your
Olympic
table,
level.
a certain amount, you get to fight Adam MacArthur.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the top tier fan experience.
Yeah.
Okay, it's your turn, Audrey.
It's your turn.
Okay, so out of like, not the main trio, but out of like all the characters in general, who is your personal favorite that's not your character?
In JJK or in general?
Just in general, it can't,
Ever?
like ever, like out of any anime.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh, that
Okay.
opens it up.
Favorite character out of anything?
Anything.
Oh my goodness.
No, there's infinite possibilities.
I love too many characters.
Mine is Astro Boy.
Astro Boy?
That's a really good
Godzilla,
Godzilla.
and KG-10. They're three favorites. Three favorite characters.
Oh boy, I was not prepared.
I know. I was like, I had Nanami on the tip of my tongue. You were
Yeah,
ready.
dude, I was. Let's see, favorite character of all time. Who do I enjoy in life?
If you can't think of one, you can just choose like one that you voice.
No, I think, okay, honest answer, I really, and this is gonna be a weird answer, but you know the Child's Play horror series, right? I really love Chucky. Like, sorry, he's like the only horror movie monster you can stay safe from by standing in the middle of a large room, you know what I mean? Like, he's like Roomba sized, I love him. Like, I think he's my favorite character of like any sort of media.
Wow. My very first Disney movie that I ever saw was The Little Mermaid, and Ariel just holds such a special place in my heart. I love her. I really wanted to be a mermaid, you guys. I think I can still make it happen.
You can do it.
There's some tutorial videos on
For
YouTube.
at least one more reboot of The Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you guys so
Thanks,
much.
Audrey. I'll see you in the replay.
You guys.
When did we get to the port? I'm gonna leave that turned on. Okay. Excuse us. Excuse us. It's, you know, it's early in the morning. We're off to a great start.
I think you're all awake now.
Yeah, hey, welcome to Sunday. Hey.
Okay. I was scared. I turned mine off. I was really scared for a second. So, this question. All of you have voiced multiple characters over multiple shows, but what makes working on JJK special to you?
Sometimes we get our ears blown out by things. There's a lot, right? There's a lot that makes the show special. For me personally, you know, I got to make a bunch of new friends from this show. That's been really, really lovely. Getting to play cards with these guys, getting to be in the same Pokemon Go chat with everyone, you know, that's been really lovely. I mean, I think that for me is the best thing that's happened beyond the show itself.
Of like all the friends you've made, who would you say is your favorite?
Oh, you want to talk about tier list, right? Oh, let me think about that for a second.
I mean, that is also my answer, but in addition to that, I think JJK is this special, like, little dinosaur, or unicorn. Special unicorn.
Special little dinosaur, like, it's like a little velociraptor.
Yeah, it's a special unicorn in that it's a show that I enjoy voicing on, but it's also a property that I really enjoyed reading. You know what I mean? Like, as voice actors, you know, we like to, you know, have prepared our material and all that stuff, and if we have a chance to, like, get to know, like, what's going on before we walk into the booth, but with JJK, like, I read the manga, like, voraciously. I read it so fast. I was on my seat every week looking forward to what was coming next. Like, if I wasn't in JJK, I would also still be a mega fan of JJK, and that's kind of rare. Yeah.
Yeah, for me it's like,
You might need to, hey,
thank you. My voice is going away on day 4 of the con. For me, it's kind of the same thing that these two said. And in addition to that, it's also like, you know, when you're working as a voice actor, a lot of times you know, you boiled it down simply, it's like, we're doing cartoons, right? But we're also actors. We're all like classically trained actors. We've done theater, TV and film, all this kind of stuff. And I would say that there aren't many shows that you get to do that require the level of acting that JJK requires. Like season 2 was straight up trauma for me. I was crying in the club. In the club, we were all crying.
We were there in the club watching the
You know?
Yeah.
It was rough, but also all I can be is grateful for that experience because it was such an amazing, like those things don't get done very often in cartoons. So the fact that I, as an actor, get to still stretch those muscles and do that while I'm doing anime is like such a cool thing. So yeah, it's just been all around an amazing. I can turn it on.
You can.
Don't be sorry. Thank you so much for making that work. Oh, I sound like this. Yeah, so that's my answer, and that's the end of it.
Awesome.
I'm terrified of moving this mic, you guys. Gotcha.
It's gonna land on an audience question. So someone hop on up there.
Oh, audience question.
Oh, nice move.
You were ready.
How do you feel about the Gojo lookalike contest that was held in New York?
Oh yeah, dude, there was a Gojo lookalike contest that was held.
Okay, okay. First of all, can I just say, while this is amazing, whoever's organizing this stuff, tell us. We'll go. We'll go. Like, what are you doing? KG would have shown up there.
I would have judged for sure, 100%. But the Cowboy Gojo did win, right? And it was a very, very good Gojo, so I'm pretty happy with it. So now, you know, Apex Gojo is the Cowboy Gojo. Yeah.
Cowboy Joe.
So congratulations to the Cowboy Gojo community.
That's that one person.
One guy.
Spinning against everyone.
Spin it again.
What's it say? Fight cage.
What
The
does it
gambling
say?
itch, I guess.
Oh, the
Oh,
deep
wow.
question. What is the deep question this early? Okay. The show is tackling topics of whether villains can be sympathized with based on the core reasons of their beliefs and what makes a powerful person truly powerful in the eyes of the ones that contain all of it, or all of it, a lot of it. How do your characters feel about these topics, and how do you personally feel about them?
Wow, layered.
That's a really deep question.
Usually those come at the end. I'm surprised it spun so early.
I feel like one of the coolest things about JJK's villains is that you get to know a lot about what makes them tick, but at the end of the day, they're still pure evil. Like, Mahito really is like the embodiment of like true human selfishness and cruelty, you know?
That guy
at the end
sucks.
of the day, yeah, at the end of the day, Sukuna is still the king of curses, but you still like get to understand why they make these choices. Watching Mahito grow from like kind of like a baby curse, very like childlike, into like the true cruel form that he has, like toward the end of season 2. Spoilers, I'm so sorry. Is like really cool to watch. He's such a fascinating character.
Yeah, I mean, you know, for Gojo specifically, I know there's that very famous line. It's like, are you the strongest because you're Satoru Gojo, or are you Satoru Gojo because you're the strongest? Or possibly that is reversed, you know. So I feel like the manga. Oh wait, no spoilers. We can't do
No spoilers.
It's very difficult to answer that question with him in context without doing spoilers. But I feel like truly the greatest villain of the series is Gege Agutami himself. You know what I'm saying? For Gojo, I like to think in my heart that he, throughout the series, proves that he is the strongest because he's who he is as a person, right? Not because of the powers he brings to the table. You know, he spends so much time and love on these kids, and he's spending all his efforts in raising this next generation to really, not only to fulfill his dreams, but to make the world a better place. And in that way, I really do feel like, you know, he is the strongest, not just because of his power set, or, you know, it's because of who he cares for, what he cares for, and what he truly desires for the future. So,
Well, I think also like someone with his power and ability could easily be a villain.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
You could have whatever.
very close.
So the fact that he's not is kind of like kind of answers this question too. It's like,
Yeah.
but I think, and it isn't like all credit to Gege. What makes a good villain is when there's moments of humanity in the villain, where as an audience we're watching this villain and we're like, God, they suck. We're like, dang, he's kind of making a good point right here.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute. Am I the villain? Are we the baddies? But then ultimately, like they continue on their path, and you're like, oh, that's what makes them a villain is they have no ability to change. But you know, from an acting standpoint, whenever we get cast, it doesn't happen to me, I only get cast as the good boys for some reason. But whenever we get cast as villains or whenever like a bad character comes up, you know, your job as an actor is to find the humanity in them, not to go act like you're a bad guy. No villain thinks they're a bad guy.
Right.
They think they just have the wrong motive, you know, they're just aiming for the wrong target. But yeah, actually, I'm talking about like, is Gojo the strongest because he's, you know, that whole thing? I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Is it okay if I ask a question?
Yeah.
And then I want to hear maybe what you guys think about this too. Okay. If Gojo punched himself in the face and it hurt, does that mean he's really weak or he's really strong?
If Gojo punched himself in the face, would he actually connect? Would he actually connect because of Infinity?
That is very philosophical.
Does it make him weak or does it make him strong?
How hard is he punching himself?
No, enough for it to hurt. If Gojo punched himself in the face and it hurt.
I think the answer would be yes, right?
Yes.
Maybe. All right, spin the wheel.
Spin the wheel.
If Gojo cries in a forest and no one is around to hear it, he Gojo cry in a forest.
Don't confuse IRL and Yu-Gi-Oh.
Okay, so this is the cool thing that we're gonna do. So there's this website called Behind the Voice Actors, and
Yeah, they use.
They're gonna pull
They
up the
use
actual
old photos. They use old photos, and they also don't put all your credits on it. That's true.
so there's this poll of your top 5 characters. So we're gonna see if the audience agrees with this poll, and then Adam's gonna give his thoughts about the poll. So right now we have Yuji Itadori at the top, who all agrees. Then we have Marco as second, who agrees. Then we have Jikuya in third place, who agrees.
It's okay, Tokyo Revengers is coming back. Disney's fine.
Then we have Lee in fourth place, who agrees.
That's Star Wars Clone Wars, in case you have no idea who that
I knew who it was. I like that show a lot. And then Trumpet, who...
is. Horrible. Horrible character, villain, didn't like it.
Like I said, you don't get cast as villains, Adam.
I did once, and it's because they didn't know me. But I did it. I did it good.
I do like that his name is Trumpet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Musical, whimsical.
You agree with the list?
I'm gonna tell you guys, you know, the JJK is obviously very popular. The Star versus the Forces of Evil fandom is also very, they are still very prevalent. They are. But I think I know a character that's not on this list that might be everyone's favorite, even more so than this. Have you guys ever watched Disney XD? Like anything on Disney XD? Yep. So, when you go to commercials on Disney XD, I'm the guy that says, "We'll be right back with more DuckTales."
Oh my god!
Now back to more Gravity Falls.
No, I will say, I just want to interject and say the reason why Marco Diaz is my favorite Adam MacArthur character is when me and my wife got married, we took a song from Star versus the Forces of Evil, and that was our main dance song, you know, our wedding dance song.
The Blood Moon Ball. You know what's even crazier is they didn't invite me to the wedding.
We didn't even know about that time.
That's right. My bad. That's right.
In the wheel.
All right, here we go. No way he's doing this.
Think it's gonna stop at audience? Oh no, it's not. Okay.
Fight KG.
Oh, random. Pineapples on pizza for you and your character.
Pineapples, yes.
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 Yes. I don't know where this argument came from. Like,
You're a monster.
It's like the Summer Dove argument, obviously Dove.
right. I'm sorry. Gordon Ramsay's incorrect. He's just not right. Like, it tastes fantastic. Like, salty, sweet. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah. In the MJ panel, Diego Matonga was like very like a no. He was like no and no. Like
Oh, really? Okay.
Pineapple on pizza? Mojito.
Yeah, I'm sure Mahito hates his combination.
Yeah, Mahito hates pizza.
Yeah, Mahito hates pizza.
Yeah.
So unrelatable.
Yeah, that guy sucks.
We have deep trauma for Mahito.
Yeah, we'll fight him. I'm gonna fight him nuclear. Watch your back.
where are we stopping? Okay. You all have gone to con numerous times. What is your favorite part, and do you have any memorable con stories?
I like that you've made con a verb.
Yes.
You all have con to numerous cons.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We
It's
have
a
con to
pun.
numerous cons.
It really is good actually. I like it. What's your favorite part? Any memorable?
I mean, I'm a pretty big foodie, right? So every new city we get to go to, I always really love going to like all the restaurants in town and be like, oh, I get to eat here, and I get to eat here. You know, that's my favorite part of travel for sure. We have, I mean, obviously we've all had like some interesting fan experiences, right? My favorite one wasn't really my experience, it's just an experience I got to experience right next to me. So I was signing one day with Bryce Pappenbrook, a fantastic person, right? And we were deep in our signings, and all of a sudden, all of us heard this, all right? And we're like, what was that? This girl who was getting her autograph signed by Bryce had fainted. And that sound was the sound of her feet hitting the underside of the table as she went down.
Why did she do that?
Why did she do? I don't know. Maybe she liked fainting. But yeah, at first we couldn't tell because we couldn't see her. She was below the table, and you saw Bryce like stand up and like and then we saw her and we're like, oh my god, like she fortunately had not hit her head, so everything was okay. I think her head like landed on her backpack or something like that. So excellent. But yeah, that was scary. That was the wildest fantasy.
That's nice. That's your favorite thing that's ever happened.
Hold that memory deep in my heart. I think about it before I go to bed every night. When I look at my wife in the morning, that's what I think about.
KG's like, wherever you are.
Going to conventions, like I've only been doing this for a couple of years, and I just love getting to connect with the fans. I always treat this as, I really enjoy the work that I do. I love these characters that I've put like time and energy into. And if someone comes to the table and tells me how much they love the work that I like, the product of that I've created, like that's so cool that we can share in this fandom together. I love that. I love those moments. I still remember our very first convention together. It was also my very first convention as a guest, was Otakon in 2021.
Oh,
and like, I remember walking out into this like little ballroom and or meeting room, and there people were sitting in the chairs, and I was like, wow, that's so cool. Like this group of people like watch this show, and two people asked us if we thought curses were real, and I was like, oh no. Is this what we're in for the rest of the conventions? Do I have to talk about, do I think curses are real? Because I don't.
What's my favorite part of convention? Oh yeah, like Ann said, it's you guys. I mean, what the heck? We're all in this together. Like I know we're doing our part where we're voicing these characters, but you guys are just as important as what we're doing. Literally without you, there is nothing. They would stop making the show and that would be it. So for me, I kind of have this in common with Itadori. Like, I like a good group activity. And I think, the fact that we get to travel together and have become so close, but then we get to share in this with you guys, it's just like, we've been all over. I've been to the Philippines, the UK, I've been to Australia, all over the United States, all over Canada. We are all the same. No matter where you go, everyone has hopes, everyone has dreams, everyone has fears. We are literally all the same. Everyone likes to eat good food. A lot of people like boba. That's something a lot of us have in common. That's one of my loves. I just thought I'd throw that in there. But we're all the same. It's just so cool to see. Like no matter where you go, the human experience is the human experience. And I know, like, yeah, I don't know. I guess a lot of times it's like we feel like we're on an island or no one can relate to us or what we're going through, but it's not true. Everyone is in this together, and it's these conventions are microcosms of the world that we live in. So it's cool to come and hang out with you guys. And then you got rid of the question, but what was the other part? A crazy experience.
Crazy story you have.
So a group of college kids once brought me their air fryer to sign. So that was cool. They were all dressed as the baseball episode characters, but they were one friend short, so they got their air fryer and they printed out a picture of Nekamaru and pasted it on the front.
That is very canon for your character, so I'm glad they did that.
Yeah, it was awesome. That's still one of my top tier fan experiences.
Okay.
Very on brand. Next question.
Into the lime green.
Industry question. What was the audition process like for this particular show?
Nobara was the only female character being auditioned at the time. She's really the only female main character that you meet up until like episode 6 or 7. So that was the only one really in play. And so I remember watching the first 3 episodes because they have a beginning intro and being like, dang, this show is good. I'd never heard of it before. This girl is awesome. I really hope I can book it. And then I forgot to do the audition until the day it was due. So I was like rushing to do it at like 3 in the afternoon.
I would say don't do that, but do that.
Yeah, I don't really
Do
follow
that.
what I do, but it works.
Yeah.
It gave it that passion, you know,
Really
that
good.
drive.
Oh my god, I'm gonna be late.
Yeah, I had no idea what JJK was when I got the audition. I know the episodes were available, I just wasn't aware of it, right? So like, you know, I got this audition in my mailbox, I was like, oh man, this guy is this reverse Kakashi? What is this dude? Like, so you know, I almost skipped it actually, because I was in the middle of like this big fighting game week and war week, so I was doing like, I think I was doing a Call of Duty game, like 2 fighting games, so my voice was almost shot, you know, I was like, it's like my 4th audition of the day. I'm like, do I really want to do this reverse Kakashi guy? Okay. And of course, I'm very glad that I did. But every time I tell the story, my wife gets a little nervous because she's like, "What do you mean you will stop doing that Gojo audition?" You know? So yeah, it was a studio that I worked with previously on Bungo Story Dogs. So they mentioned that, hey, you know, so you did this character for Ostazai, and this character is a little similar, so we thought maybe you'd like a crack at it. You know, I tried to audition for Nobara, they didn't like it very much. Still, that haunts me to this day.
You are my understudy, so.
Yeah, thank you. So, you know, if you ever get sick, you're gonna hear me.
Yeah, for me it was kind of interesting. Like, I historically hadn't really auditioned for anime, and in 2019, when Star vs. the Forces of Evil was ending, I was watching My Hero Academia, and I was like, man, this show is a lot of fun, and it seems like these voice actors are having a great time. Why haven't I ever auditioned for anime? And then I reached out to my agent, and I was like, hey, why don't we do this? And he's like, oh, like, it's not really recorded in LA very often. Like, there's not a lot of stuff for, you know, just like there's not a lot of stuff. Our agency doesn't really do it. And I was like, well, like, can we? And he was like, let me look into it. And maybe like 6 weeks to 2 months later, I had an audition for My Hero Academia, and it was like, the way they audition for that show is they just send you characters that are already cast, read for them, and then they will use whatever voice you did, and they'll kind of place it where they want it. And so I did a round of that audition. I didn't get anything. That's when Zeno Robinson booked Hawks, so that was like around that time. And then my second anime audition ever was for Jujutsu Kaisen. And the audition came in, and I knew Robbie prior to JJK, and he messaged me, and he's like, hey, I heard you were gonna be auditioning for anime. Did you get this audition? I was like, yeah. And he's like, this is gonna be a good one. And I was like, okay, cool. But again, I've been acting for a really long time. And when people say things like that, the best thing you can do is not get hyped, because you can hear it in your audition. You just gotta do the work and forget the audition once you send it in. But I got my audition. I read for Gojo. I read for Sukuna. I read for Megami, and then I read for Yuji. And yeah, it was like a week later after I auditioned that I got the call. I was on my way to a camping trip, and everyone else in the car was asleep. Well, except the driver. Thank God. And I got the call, and I was so excited, but I couldn't do anything. So I was like,
Just stewing in your room.
I rolled down the window and just held my head out the window. So yeah, and then the rest is history. Here we are.
Yes.
I would like a redub of the show of like the characters we didn't get to play.
Character swap. I still have all my auditions.
Yeah, ditto.
Audience question.
I do.
Audience question.
Someone come on up. Y'all can also form a line if you want to.
Yeah, you guys can also fight. You can go up to take me. I fell asleep watching UFC.
Oh yeah?
So you guys did mention that you did have like theater experience before. Like, what shows have you done?
Wait, I didn't hear the question.
I'm sorry, the music's pretty loud.
Theater
What's that?
experience?
Yeah, like theater experience before. Like you
theater
mentioned that.
experience.
Yeah.
Well, what shows have you done in theater?
Oh, what shows have we done in theater? Oh man, oh my god.
You and I both have different right?
Yeah, we absolutely, we have degrees. So yeah, I mean, A ton. I mean, I did a bunch of musical theater, so you know, the cabarets, the Urinetowns, the Into the Woodses, a lot of Sondheim, right?
When you say cabaret, all I can see is Gojo and fishnets. I don't think it's just me. I don't think it's just me.
So yeah, a ton of Shakespeare, you know, Julius Caesar, sorry, not Into the Woods again. Oh my God, it's Sunday, right? Come on. The whimsical one, the Puck, Midsummer Nights, you know, like a bunch of stuff. Tartuffe, even some of the.
Wait, who were you in Tartuffe?
I was Tartuffe.
I was Doreen.
Let's go!
I wasn't in it.
Oh, sorry. And my least favorite play of all, Three Sisters. I'm sorry, Three Sisters and Joiners. There's never been a good Three Sisters production.
Which one were you?
Which sister was it? No, I was,
The titular character of Three Sisters.
I'm just sorry, I've just never seen a production of Three Sisters where at least one person has not fallen asleep in the audience. That's my spicy theater. Yeah, freaking Chekhov, man.
Listen, he was the beginning of modern theater, though. Like, he is.
And you could tell.
And you could
Let's see. Oh, you're
Oh, yeah, let me go real quick. Yeah, so I've done a lot of the same stuff. Dude, I was Rosie in My Bed Birding, both high school and college. Done a bunch of musical theater, did a lot of plays, Much Ado About Nothing. I've done, actually in LA, I've done a lot of theater, and I've done a lot of original works. So I've done a lot of like developmental plays, brand new like world premieres.
Wait, did you invite us to your place?
No.
This was all before I met you guys.
No, it's not.
Just. When did we? Like, when?
We knew each other always.
You're right. No, but I've done a lot of really cool, like, new works, original works, and I've gotten to perform. My coolest thing was I got to perform in China. I did this original musical that performed at a musical theater festival in China, and so I got to go in like 2014. It was cool.
That's cool. For me, dang, this is taking me back. I'm getting old, guys.
Dang, getting old.
So Godspell, The Rivals, South Pacific, Hello Dolly, dang, I don't know. There's a bunch of other plays that I've been out of high school for a really long time, in college for a really long time. But more recently, a lot of my stage stuff is all improv based. So I was a main company member at Comedy Sports in Los Angeles. I made my way up through the groundlings to a certain point, and then stopped doing that. And I did a lot of long form improv stuff over at Improv Theater in LA, which is like improvised Shakespearean plays. They did improvised Jane Austen. They went on to do a lot more things like improvised Twilight Zone episodes and stuff like that. A lot of fun. So yeah, a lot of stage stuff for me now is improv based.
Cool.
Thank you for the question. I do miss cast parties, you guys.
And
theater cast parties.
next audience question.
Yeah.
Do you guys relate to your characters or have gotten attached to them? Has that made it more devastating when you record like tough scenes?
Thanks for reminding me.
We're having some more flashbacks.
Yeah, they've heard me say it, and you might have heard me say it because I say it on every interview where I'm asked this question. Yes, Yuji is such a good boy, and all the trauma that he goes through in season 2 is just tragic. And I've never had a character where, when a season ended, I was like, oh, I understand why some actors need a break from acting a certain character. Like, it was a really hard last maybe like 7 or 8 episodes of season 2 where I would have to go into the studio already in a weird mental headspace, because when we're recording, it's not like, the director's not like, all right, Adam, this scene is going to be really hard, so we need you to take about 20 minutes and get into a headspace. Like, nope, it's no time. It's like, hey, how's it going? Come on in. Are you ready to go? All right. They show you what the scene is, and then you start at a certain point and you start saying the lines. So, like, for all the Shibuya stuff where Yuji's, riding on the floor in the fetal position at Toto's feet, if I'm phoning that in or not already prepared when I walk into the studio to be in that kind of headspace, it's gonna sound totally fake. And we've all heard those scenes in different shows throughout the years where you're like, that's why I think people say like, oh, dub doesn't have emotion or whatever. Screw that, JJK has a lot of emotion. JJK.
I agree.
But yeah, it's hard to go through that, but it's our job. It's part of the fun. So.
And, I mean, I think all of us really relate to our characters. I mean, as an actor, whenever you have a character that you're playing, you have to be able to relate to something. You know, even if you are playing, like, say, a murderer, you have to connect something between you and that person so that you can, like, believably portray it.
Yeah,
but
and loves hammers.
I'm a secret carpenter, you guys. No, but I really do relate a lot to Nora. You know, she's just a girl who's very angry.
We do carry around hammers, it's true. You know, I joke sometimes about how, like, I very much relate to, or want to relate to, you know, the fact that Gojo was, like, super rich. That'd be great one day, you know. But I've really thought about this question a lot, and they're actually, on the surface level, me and Gojo are actually not that very, very similar, right? Like, he's extremely extroverted, I am not. I am fairly introverted, right? Like, he really likes sweets, and I'm not like a dessert guy, right? So I'm like, this guy's gonna get a cavity. I don't know if, it's in, the
Infinity will protect his
infinity
teeth.
thing is gonna protect you from, going to the dentist. But one thing I can relate to is his sense of humor and his love of his friends and the people closest to him, the kids that he's raising, I think that's very, very sweet. So I tried to hone in on those aspects of Gojo when I'm voicing him.
And how good he is at trolling people.
Yeah.
That's character assassination, you guys. I've never trolled a single day in my life. I don't know. I've been a perfect angel my entire existence. Never even lied a single time.
Marcy, go ahead and stand up.
No, you don't have to listen to her. You don't have to listen to her. That's my wife, ladies and gentlemen. Marcy Edwards, fantastic voice actor.
He is a troll! Do not let him gaslight you!
Don't listen to her. Don't listen to her. She's gaslighting you right now.
Also, such a power couple, these two, by the way. Marcy travels with us all the time, and she's an amazing voice actor, and just one of my favorite people. So, if you see Marcy out in the wild, take a picture with Marcy.
Yeah, she is the strongest, yes.
That is true.
Love you guys.
Love you.
Well, turn to the wheel at the same time, like, on the wheel.
Oh, this is interesting. Which sorcerer do you think would have the easiest time using their jujutsu for an everyday type of job?
I guess it depends on the job.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not much you can
Like
get
if
away with
Nova
punching and kicking.
Nova is a carpenter. Done.
Done.
She's building houses for everyone. She's a solid home.
I think Boogie Woogie has like a great utilitarian, like general, like utility that could work across any job, like even like information you could like trade off with another computer really quick and put in things.
Could be a spy.
A spy, construction even, right? Boogie
A barista.
A Boogie Woogie barista, let's go. Right? Coffee made in like 0.2 seconds, right? Oh, Boogie Woogie.
Yeah, that's our answers for that question.
Panda, like what is
Well, maybe mojitos for like plastic surgery. You know what?
No. So that's actually hilarious. But Panda could just be a panda. His job is to just be in the zoo.
Scare people from talking randomly. Why is this panda talking to me? Oh, I think it's another audience question. Yeah. What's your question?
Hi. Oh my gosh, I'm so short.
I'm also short, don't worry.
I was gonna ask, who is your favorite villain character? Like, bad guy? Bad
In
guy.
JJK or in
Jujutsu Kaisen.
In Jujutsu
I mean, it could be
Kaisen.
whoever also, I don't like
Next
that.
question.
Either in JJK or whatever.
Or whatever.
No.
It should be Mahito.
It is Mahito. He sucks.
No, he's the best one.
But he's very well written.
Yeah, he's such a good villain that we legitimately hate him, It's like the Joffrey thing for Game of Thrones, where it's like, ooh, that kid, he's so good.
I thought you meant the butler from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh yeah, him too. Yeah.
I was like, hey, I love that guy.
Honestly, I'm a big fan of Ursula from The Little Mermaid. I think Ursula is fantastic, right, as a
You'll
villain.
never see another icon.
No, iconic, legendary villain.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Spinning the wheel of fortune. And
Love this. It's like playing gotcha without having to invest resources.
what are your personal fandoms? And yes, I will count reality TV.
I have 2 guilty pleasure reality TV shows. Wait, do I have 3? I might have 3.
I know one of them.
What is it?
The challenge.
The Challenge.
Yeah.
The Challenge.
So MTV has a show. Do you guys know The Challenge? Have you heard of The Challenge? I freaking love The Challenge. Okay, so imagine Survivor meets The Amazing Race. That's kind of like the best way to describe it. It's like
Kind of means guts.
Kind of meets Guts, if you know what that is. But it's like an adventure challenge show. It's on CBS and Paramount Plus, but it was on MTV. And back in the day, there was this show called Road Rules on MTV, and this show called The Real World. And The Challenge was kind of birthed out of those 2 shows, and they would take people that were on The Real World and they would put them in crazy challenges. So what I love about it is there are people who have been on this show for like 20 years. So I've been watching them since I was high school. And sometimes they're in a season, sometimes they're not. They'll be back the greatest of all time. But it's just such a fun, it's a show that I would want to be on. Because it's like, you gotta be smart, you gotta be athletic. And then you also gotta put up with like drama, and I would just.
Would you be an instigator?
Oh. KG, with a smile on my face. And people would not know until they were watching that. They'd be like, dang it, that guy was a freaking wolf in sheep's clothing the whole time. I truly believe, and I know we all watch these shows probably on TV and we're like, I would be so good at this. I would absolutely shred the show. Okay, so The Challenge is one of them. The other one is So You Think You Can Dance.
I love that show.
I love it. I think in another life, I'm probably like a backup dancer for Rihanna or something.
Hell yeah.
It could still be this life, Adam. It's not too late. It's not too late.
And then my third one is Below Deck, which is a current.
Below Deck.
Yeah, Below Deck is a good one. And I mean, there's plenty of other fandoms, but I'm just gonna stick with reality because I already said 3 shows.
Okay, very nice. I am a huge Jane Austen fan, and so if there is a Jane Austen adaptation, I will watch the crap out of it. Personally, my favorite one is the BBC adaptation of Pride and Prejudice, starring one Colin Firth. If you've seen it, you know. But no, I like Clueless. Actually, Clueless is the perfect Jane Austen adaptation of Emma, and if you haven't seen Clueless, please go see it. Please don't make me feel super old. I think her writing is just so whip smart, and she perfected the rom-com genre before there was a rom-com genre. My husband also loves reality TV, since we're talking about a lot of reality TV, and he watches one called Bering Sea Gold. And if you get him in a room, he will talk to you about it for like a solid hour. Like, he loves this show. These people are train wrecks. So I watch it next to him, and it is so funny.
Do they go find gold?
Yeah. So apparently, at the bottom of the Bering Sea, you can find like gold deposits. And so these people go on down to the seafloor with basically little vacuums, and they vacuum up the seafloor and
that's
comb it
awesome.
for gold.
By the way, you need to know this about Anne's husband, Zach. He's an amazing guy. He's a very, very smart.
Yes.
And so when he watches a show like this, you can guarantee that in the back of his mind, he's trying to figure out a way that he can go do it. So I know Zach is about to take a trip to the
He would never, but he would.
I'm down. We need something to do after voiceover, you know? Why not girl paneling at the bottom of the ocean?
There's also the Opal Hunter show. That's in Australia.
I like Jade Mountain.
Jade Mountain?
Yeah, it's in Utah, but they blow up mountains and find jade.
Let's be gem hunters.
Okay.
Let's do it.
That's
All right, guys,
our next
we
slide.
won't be back at our tables today.
Yeah.
So sorry.
Going to the bottom of the ocean. Really quick, I'm just going to tag on. I am an easy sell for any cooking show. Literally, it's some of the most garbage television, but I love Hell's Kitchen. I will watch any season of Hell's Kitchen. Top Chef, Chopped even. I will literally put on episodes of Chopped and just leave it in the background and just be like, oh, this is my next 18 hours, so that stuff. I really like Physical 100 on Netflix. That's a really great one. I've never seen a show that made me feel so incredibly out of shape. Oh my goodness. There are these people holding giant boulders for 2 hours straight. Unbelievable human beings, right? As for just random fandoms, I'm a giant MTG player, Magic the Gathering player, as these folks know. Yeah, let's go.
KG got us into it.
Yeah, I needed someone to play cards with on the road, so it's like, you know.
Yeah, he bought us decks that weren't quite as good as his.
Yeah.
It's really sweet. It's really sweet of him.
We need something to start off on, you know? Like, yeah. So, yeah, that's me, that's me.
That's when, like, you say, like, thank you?
This is my favorite question, actually. Who is more unhinged, teenage Gojo and Guido or adult Gojo and Guido?
Well, there's a certain amount of genocide on one end, right? So that's a little unhinged.
In what way?
Yeah.
Like in a fun, cute, rom-com way?
Yeah. So I feel like on that spectrum, maybe the adult, you know? I feel like the math is in that column, you know what I mean? Like, the teenagers are like, oh yeah, they walk funny while drinking their juice.
Yeah, when they're teenagers, it's like, I'm just gonna take an emo shower.
Yeah.
It's like not that bad for everyone.
Right, it's not that bad, you know? Like,
That man's mental health was deteriorating.
we shouldn't laugh at that. That's a very serious thing.
KG, he's not real. He's not real.
Like slang. I'm addicted to watching this wheel spin.
You've made a real solid dent in this wheel. Look at that.
Okay, you guys have to ask an audience member before they ask their question. So what? Ask your audience member.
Wait, can I ask it?
Yeah, go for it.
What's your go-to breakfast food?
Yes.
Oh, I don't eat breakfast.
I knew you were gonna say that. It's on
It's okay. I empathize.
Okay, the first meal you'll have of the day, like what's your favorite thing to eat?
Oh, lunch.
Just lunch?
Buffalo chicken fingers. All
Buffalo
day.
chicken wings?
All day.
Okay.
What'd you say, chicken wings?
Buffalo chicken
It's
wings.
a very Atlanta answer.
Wait, Ranger Blue Cheese. I'm so sorry, I'm asking too many questions.
So many.
Neither ruins the flavor.
So you like both?
No, neither. It
Oh,
ruins the
neither.
flavor. I want just the buffalo.
Okay.
He wants the pure essence of the buffalo
I get it. Okay,
wing.
good. Thank you.
So I kind of have like a two-part question. So y'all go to a lot of conventions, and what was it like the first time you walked in and saw people dressed as your characters? And then on top of that, what's the weirdest thing that someone dressed as your characters has asked y'all to say or do?
Well, okay, so to answer the first part of that question, and I'll think about that. The first time I saw people come to my table dressed as Nobara, I was like, inside, I was like crying. I was like, this is so cool to see, like her, like in real life, in this like little body. And it's still just I get a kick out of it every time.
Yeah, it's a heck of a thing to experience, you know. Like, I remember the very first time I sort of experienced that was for Archer from Fate's Day Night, right? That was one of my, like, the first, like, bigger roles that I had. And to see a bunch of archers walking across and people, like, coming up to talk to me, that was incredible. But it also led to, I don't know if you guys are familiar with this character, he has a chant, all right? The Unlimited Blade Works chant. It's awesome, but it's very long, right? So that first year, I memorized it very quickly through necessity. Because people will walk up and be like, could you do the chant? The whole thing, they're like, yeah. They all sound like that. Yeah, so now I'll never not have it memorized, you know. I've gone through it so many times in my brain. I could write it down for you in, like, you know, like a minute straight at this point.
Yeah, it's so cool, obviously, like they said, seeing people come up in your character's cosplay. I myself am very judgmental, so when I see sew lines that are misaligned and hair that's not in the right spot, I'm just being super dumb. That's not true. That's not true.
You should see him when Mahito cosplayers go up to his table.
Oh, that's true. That's true. You're not allowed to be
incredible.
Yeah, I will literally tell you suck and you're not allowed in my life.
One time a Mahito cosplayer came to my table. This was Raleigh. And no, Richmond. And they brought the Mahito pop and they asked me if I would they asked if they could, like, you know, buy a signature. And my friend Stormy was like, no. But I was like, no, we'll sign it. And then they didn't want a quote, but then I looked at them and I was like, I know, I'm gonna give you, I was like, you get a free quote. And I wrote the B word on it.
Yeah, it's funny, like things that people ask us to say. Like it's always, I would say, pretty well contained in the show, or like some variation. But something that happens to me pretty regularly is, you know, someone will come up and they'll be like, hey, like, I want to get a print for my mom. Her name's Donna. Can you write, I like a tall woman with a nice big ass? Donna on the print. I'm like, write that. This is for your mom. Merry Christmas, Mom.
It's framed and like it's enshrined.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like sometimes I get families asking for prints for their kids, and they're like, "Did you write Daddy's Home?" I'm like, "Whoa!" And they don't understand the context of this. Like, yeah, they requested Daddy's Home. I'm like, the kid didn't tell the parents, like, "You need Daddy's Home."
That kid went to school that day, that third grader, and told everyone that Gojo is his dad. I do have a dad. It's Gojo.
I can just see that happening. Oh my god. Okay, it's Kaiji's turn for his.
Oh god,
voice
please no.
character.
Oh, there it is, alright.
There it is.
Oh, very close. It's actually, yeah, see, it's not, Gojo's actually third. Owain still, hey, let's go!
Yeah, so who agrees that Owain is number 1 in the year?
Thank you very much. Fire Emblem, let's go.
What about Desire? Anyone got that? And then of course Gojo. And then Archer.
Archer.
I do love Archer so much. I used to binge that when I was really like during COVID.
Oh really?
Yeah, I did. There's so many episodes. I was like, yeah, you know, I want to.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
And then Ichiban. Who's got Ichiban?
Ichiban Kasuga. Yakuza.
All right, Kaiji. What are your opinions about the list?
My opinions? Look, I love Owain. He's got big theater kid energy, so I relate to him a lot. I remember he was like, I think he was my first like favorite. Like when I first booked him in 2014, that was supposed to be the very last Fire Emblem, you guys, Awakening. What? That game saved the entire franchise. It sold so well.
Because of you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. I personally saved Fire Emblem. Thank you so much.
Put that on TikTok. Make that audio go viral.
Yeah, whoever's recording. KG's saying, I personally have saved Fire Emblem.
Yeah, American voice actor. Right?
Yeah, saved Fire Emblem. You're welcome, Nintendo. Yeah.
Okay, so Shope's question. We know from the beginning that once Yuji eats all of the fingers, he usually has to be flatlined.
Wow, thanks for putting that so gracefully.
Well, I don't want to be like murdered, but what are your personal feelings about this, and do you think it will actually happen?
I mean,
yeah, no, make your readers be quiet.
yeah, no. Well, we're gonna answer this as if we've just finished season 2.
Yeah.
Here's what I think. I think Yuji is the exception. Yuji is different, and there's a reason that he's the vessel. And I think that we've seen time and time again him be resilient beyond normal human capacity for someone who's 15 years old and who has just entered Jujutsu Society. So I think that if anyone can find a way to consume all the fingers and keep Sukuna at bay and not be killed, that it would be Yuji. That's my take.
Yes.
Also, don't kill my boy.
That's such a good boy.
I'm just gonna have a print on my table of dead. No, I'm just some Mahito cosplay.
Yeah.
Honestly, like if we are answering this just as if we had just finished season 2, with the way Gege Agutami writes, I wouldn't be surprised. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that Yuji dies in season 3.
Right, yeah, exactly.
The Shibuya incident taught you to not expect plot armor to be effective.
Yeah, that's not a thing in JJK. I mean, he's already killed you once.
That's true.
Yeah, it's
That is true.
What's stopping you from doing it again?
Yeah, by the way, imagine me, first anime ever, 4 episodes in, I get murdered, and I'm like, well, that was fun.
Nice knowing you.
Yeah.
This one. What villain do you think has the potential to be turned into a sorcerer and vice versa? What sorcerer do you think can be turned into a villain? I know we kind of already said Gojo, but...
Yeah, Gojo would have had a really tremendous heel turn, and it would have been right at the end of the hidden inventory arc.
Oh, yeah.
Had Gato said even one small thing wrong at that moment, that would have been the beginning of an incredible villain arc for Gojo, you know? He literally asked Gato, should I heel turn? Right? And Gato's like,
And conversely, if Gojo had just been like, buddy, what's going on? You good?
Oh my god, right? Like if they just had a conversation.
Around, man.
Oh.
Therapy would solve everything, you
Therapy would solve
guys.
a lot of things.
Oh, you know, something even simpler than therapy is if Gato had just figured out that you could put condiments on the cursed balls, like Kenjaku figured out. There was that one scene, we skip over it like very quickly, in the anime and in the manga where Kenjaku pours soy sauce on a cursed ball before he eats it. That's all it would have taken. A little bit of ketchup, a little bit of soy sauce, some nice mustard.
No more emo shower.
No more emo shower, you know? Wow. We could have had it all.
I think the villain to turn sorcerer thing, I don't know if this is like, but you know, Choso. Choso was kind of like, you know.
Oh,
Junpei's dead, and
rest in peace, Junpei.
Junpei's dead, and you know what? I'm sorry, hold on a second. You just, from a boy. There you go. Junpei, he should have just come to his attack.
Instead, he turned into a
He was
muppet.
asked. He was invited.
Let's go stop an audience question. Yes. Audience question. What is your question?
Hi.
Hello.
So you know how in JJK0, Miniko and Nanako really want Gato to take them to get the crepes. And I wonder what your opinion is. Do you feel like Gojo overheard this because he loves sweets and was following behind bushes waiting for them to leave to go try the crepes
Just go try
after
the
them?
crepes. That'd be morbid. That'd be terrible. He just waited till they left the restaurant until he just went in to get some. I mean, look, yes. Just by himself, sad, eating crepes, he was here. I can still smell him.
Thank you. That was my question. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Ann and I didn't answer because we weren't in JJK0.
That's true. That's true.
And spin. Wow,
I made the movie, 30% better.
Oh, we're gonna do Adam, I think.
Again?
Wait, yeah, we already did you. Okay,
we
we're
did
gonna do
this one. We did
we're
this
gonna
one.
do Anne.
Respin.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
And Troy Baker.
Shout out to Wait, what?
My favorite character you play is Troy Baker.
So it looks like Lavara is first. Who agrees? And we have Raiden second. Y'all agree with that one. We have Lola third. Then we have Rosalie. Anyone know Rosalie?
From the slideshow.
Oh, yeah.
And then Memento.
Yeah, that's my favorite. That's my favorite.
Legitimately my favorite.
That's my
Nobody
favorite.
watched Sakugan, and it was so good. It was legitimately so good.
We were both in it. It was
All
a
three of us
really.
were in it.
All three of us were in it? Oh, let's go.
Yeah.
Play that one guy. What's his name? I don't know.
He's like, what's the? Oh, it was seriously a cute show.
It was really cute, father-daughter dynamic, and they rode in a big old Mac, and they were just trying to dig. They were like miners. It was really cute and really wholesome, and the quality of the show dipped a little bit toward the end, but that's okay.
They all do.
They all do. No, but I really wish more people had watched it because I really loved it.
It was good.
Yeah.
Also, you were awesome in it.
Thank you. I got to be a little girl. She was cute.
We're ducks all of a sudden.
Everyone has.
Whoa.
Jesus.
Whoa. Okay. Show.
So, everyone has character arcs, at least from the main students and Gojo and Pito's, that feed into each other. We understand a lot more since we saw Gojo and Pito's backstory and how that is affecting the future for the students and the world. Are you excited to see the final climax when it all comes to a head?
Yes.
Not to spoil anything, but yes.
It's a very short answer for a very long question. We are excited.
Yes.
There we go. What's about audience?
Oh, that's gonna make it.
No, Jesus. Okay. What kind of everyday job are your character? Did we already do this?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna skip this.
That's fine. We're getting close to the end.
La 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 la. Leedle. Random.
You could put your. What? That's what it said on the wheel. That's what it said on the wheel.
If you could put your characters in any universe, where would you put them?
Somewhere where no one dies.
That is fair. Like a slice of life.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, people die in that sometimes.
Nora should be in an idol show. She should be an idol.
Yeah.
She should be an idol.
She is an idol.
Gojo should be in Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
For no other reason than I love Yu-Gi-Oh! Him and Seto Kaiba having a card game, that'd be incredible.
I want to put Yuji in Demon Slayer just so he can slap Tanjiro.
You tell the friends?
No, they would totally be friends. But just because I want that clip to go viral and I want Zach Aguilar to see it.
Well, we could definitely go downstairs and tell them.
Oh, trust me.
He's coming in next, actually.
Trust me.
Just let him know. Just let him know.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, you get to ask an audience member first, and then they get to ask their question.
Okay. What is the weirdest food combination you've ever eaten that you've enjoyed and are guilty of? Like you feel guilty that you enjoyed?
Oh. By the way, KG could do a whole panel on his answers.
He really does.
I took a photo of him when we got here to ATL of him putting cocktail sauce, like shrimp cocktail sauce, on cornbread.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is really good.
Don't tell me Southerners that.
It's actually.
No, it doesn't. Are you dressed as mojito?
I would say putting, like mixing like spaghetti and tacos.
Oh, spaghetti and tacos.
Tacos.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's like, I mean,
Crunchy noodles. Yeah.
you eat spaghetti and meatballs all the time. Why not spaghetti and tacos?
I like crunchy noodles, but not crunchy and then also.
Did you put the taco filling in the spaghetti or the spaghetti inside the taco?
Spaghetti and the taco.
Yeah, I signed off on that. That sounds good. I tried twice.
I want to know what that is.
I mean, the egg roll food truck, they have like Alfredo, chicken Alfredo egg roll. Ooh, it was pretty good actually.
Yeah, thank you for the suggestion.
Just crowdsourcing your next first food. Okay, cool.
And what is your question?
My question is, if your characters were here at AWA, how do you think they would react to being here?
React to the what, sorry?
Being, like, how do you think they would react to being at AWA?
Oh,
Let's
at
say-
the con?
Yeah, the con, yeah.
Oh.
I mean, Nobara would have purchased half the convention.
Oh
right
yeah,
now.
like she went crazy on the call. She's got like 20 bags. Actually, she doesn't. She made credit card.
I think Yuji would have been thrown out on day one. Because what would have happened was he would have gotten in one of those like cool anime wrapped cars, thinking he was in the video game section, and he would have accidentally crashed one of the cars, and they would have been like, "Sorry, dude, you're out." So Yuji is actually outside looking in. He's still here, but he's just looking in.
Gojo would for sure hit the after parties,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Late night after parties. Or Megumi would have the three of our characters on a leash walking through the hall, for sure.
All right, we got time for one more. We're gonna do like a toss up between an audience question and the one last question on this wheel. So it's probably gonna hit audience though. It's like the most audience. Audience. You're the last one. Go for it, girl.
Wow. Hi. Wow. Good morning. I just wanted to ask what gets y'all to reprise very old roles. I don't know if I asked that in the way that I wanted, so I'm gonna give an example. I made it very clear I like Owen. So when I saw him get his alt earlier this year in Fire Emblem Heroes, and I saw that you were still voicing him, I was like, Awakenings 2014, what the heck? So it really threw me off because a lot of characters tend to get different VAs over the course of the years. So I was wondering like how that process goes to reprise a role.
Oh, how the process to reprise a role? I mean, the voice actors for roles change for a variety of different reasons, right? Sometimes it can be as simple as there's a conflict in schedule. Like sometimes a role needs to be recorded in a specific set amount of time, and sometimes the original actor is just not available, right? So it can be as simple as that. It could be they've aged out of the voice, so they no longer sound like they did in their 20s or etc., right? And then you have to upgrade, or not upgrade, sorry, side grade. Voice, not upgrade, sorry. That's not the right word, right?
Sometimes they suck.
Yeah, sometimes it's or it could be something like the company has decided to go in a different direction with the character. You know, they've either turned the character into a different version of themselves, or the character has gone through some sort of transformation and now they just sound different, right? Generally, if the original actor is available, they're still in that range and that character is still basically what they are, they'll generally try to call you back, you know?
I have been in the position of taking over characters for actors a couple of times. With Mia in Fire Emblem Heroes, it was because the wonderful Felice Sampler passed away, and so they were looking for a voice match, and I actually also voice matched for her as Sabine in Miraculous Ladybugs. It's the 4th season, so like I auditioned for that, and I was able to like carry on in her shoes. So like I take pride in that. And then with the Digimon 2020 reboot, they were specifically looking to get a different sound for the characters because it was like an almost an alternate universe for these kids, like a separate storyline. So they recast the entire cast with newer actors. So that's how I stepped into the role of Izzy for that one. Yeah.
Thank you.
There's a little baby dressed as Gojo. Come here, Philly.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, we had to make sure.
You'll be the last one, okay?
Your cosplay's so good.
So, if you guys were actors, what would you do?
If we weren't actors.
That's a great question.
That is a great question.
I would probably be a doctor. I was actually studying to be a doctor when I was in college.
You were a forensic scientist, right?
And then I was a forensic scientist for like 7 years. Wow.
Yeah, CSI. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
Solved so many crimes.
So many crimes. I solved 0 crimes.
So many crimes.
Was a murder investigator.
I was the first murder investigator.
Brought villains to justice in real life.
I think I would be.
Would you have a dojo?
I don't think I would have a martial arts school. Here's what. So, I grew up in a family of entrepreneurs. Like my dad had his own business and stuff like that. So, and I have other businesses that are not voice acting already. So I feel like I would just keep doing that, and maybe teach martial arts.
So when I was little, I watched a show called X-Files, right? And in the show, a couple of FBI agents solved a lot of mysteries surrounding aliens. And when I was young, I thought that's what the FBI did. Okay? So I wanted to be an FBI agent when I grew up because I wanted to solve alien mysteries. But as it turns out, that's not actually what the FBI does. So I gave up that dream immediately.
Can I ask you a question? What do you want to be?
Yeah.
An actor.
An actor, let's go! We should be in stuff together.
Thank you. Well, thank you guys so much for coming to the panel. Their social media. Please go follow them. Please go look at them at their table. Not look at them. Go visit them at their table.
Oh, thank you so much for moderating this panel. You are absolutely lovely. Thank you so much. Your questions were amazing. Your guys' questions were amazing. We're so thankful for all of you.
No problem. Thank you guys for coming. Please go visit them at their table. Get autographs. Get pictures.
Yeah, we're here till I'm here till 4.
Maybe you can go fight
till 4 p.m.
I don't know.
Yeah, let's go. Let's get it.
小さな夢を抱いて走る光る未来がここにある友達と笑い合う時間かけがえのない瞬間